You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lane. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lane, here every week talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. It has been a wonderful summer. We're actually into that you can almost feel autumn. There's the last few days of summer where you can just taste it, just right there. And then it gets hot again. So your plants are celebrating too. They are growing like crazy. My native oaks, boy, they are growing fast. It's hard to keep up with. In fact, I did a little pruning because they were just hanging down to the ground and dinging in the forehead. Unacceptable. When you're growing in my gardens, you're going to keep maintained. These are wild plants. Actually, all plants are wild. If you don't maintain them, they tend to go crazy. And so you got to keep them in their bounds. It's like a beautiful poodle or doodle. You got to keep them trimmed, keep them looking good. Otherwise, you get kind of mangy looking. The personality doesn't change, but their looks do. So plants are like that. They just need to be, and they appreciate. Plants feel prettier when you give them a haircut. They like it. They respond quickly to it. One thing we are noticing in my gardens, and we get a lot of folks come in here at Watters Garden Center. They're if they don't know what to do, they've done their research, it doesn't make sense online. They come in, and we're seeing a lot of heat stress, and so we see some damage from like 3 or 4 leaves back. There's some brown leaves, brown tips. Obviously, it's heat stress. And then the new growth is coming out okay. And so folks are really worried going, is this something to be, I'm stressing out over this. I can't sleep over my plant. What should I do? Just water it. You're good. Fertilize it here in a couple weeks. By the end of September, fertilize, and it'll come back and just be beautiful. What happened was about a month ago, I don't remember exactly, but about a month ago, it went to like 100 degrees. It was really fast. We just went whoosh, and it stressed out plants. No matter how much you watered, you couldn't keep them happy. They were just in survival mode. And then the rain started coming, the ground started hydrating, it started to cool off, and all that new growth started coming out fresh again. So you're seeing older damage on plants, and then you're seeing the new growth coming out relatively looking good. So that's just heat stress. Don't worry. It's going to go into fall. They're going to start losing their leaves in October sometime, and they'll reset and be fine. So kind of, if you really needed to water correctly at that point, if you made a mistake, you had some stress on it. Another one I'm noticing, I've had several customers coming in with bright yellow leaves, or obviously chlorosis is what they call it, yellowing, or the green cells just turned yellow. They're just, that's a pH thing. The chemistry of the soil has changed, and the plant is struggling. And so the pH, as you start watering a lot, the ground will start taking on whatever the pH is of your water. And our water, all of us, are very alkaline. That is, it's very high. And so if it goes too high, what happens is the minerals that are there in the soil, you can give it iron to green it up. But if the pH is too high, it won't be effective. And so the pH, it locks up all the nutrients, the good stuff, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, and the minor trace elements, the copper, the boron, the iron, the magnesium. The plant is there, but the plant can't get to it because it's just stressed out. If you lower the pH, it just automatically starts greening up. It's like instant. I mean, we're talking by the end of next week, it's green. Oh my gosh. And so we've been telling folks, put some soil sulfur on those plants that are very yellow, and keep doing it with every fertilizer. You're fertilizing 4 times a year. So our fertilizer has some sulfur in it, but we're afraid to put too much or we'll overcompensate for folks. So if you're struggling with high pH, you want to add to it, kind of supplement the fertilizers with additional soil sulfur. And so I would say you're putting the fertilizer down in October. So if you're thinking holidays, just think Halloween, New Year's, Easter, and 4th of July. And the reason there's 4 times you're doing it with a good granular food is so we're trying to compensate for these yellow plants. The ground is not your friend, and the water is even less your friend. So we're trying to compensate for these things so the plants can adapt and just thrive. And so we're seeing some yellowing right now. If it goes into fall with that yellow, you'll lose your fall color. So autumn blaze maples, I'm seeing that. Apples, I'm seeing yellow. What else? I saw some herbs. Vincas are showing yellow. They've been watering like crazy. The soil has taken on the pH of the water, and all of a sudden it locks up the minerals, and the plant can't grow anymore. It just goes yellow. It just becomes, they're just like looking at a anemic person. They're sick, go in bed, and they just look terrible. You can tell from a distance, you go, oh, they're not feeling very well. Well, plants are this, they're just like people. They're telling you something, going, I just don't feel good. I'm not going to bloom anymore. I'm just going to hang out here until I get to feeling better. I'm not going to grow anymore. I'm just going to keep yellowing. I just keep condensing into myself and saving the core of myself for later. But if you change that pH, you put some soil sulfur on it, pray for rain, or water it in, boy, it just activates everything right now, and the plant turns green. You'll need that if you want your red maples to be red. If you want your really intense, beautiful aspens to turn the silver berries, the service berries, the ash trees, this beautiful purple, you'll need that deep, rich green. That's what brings out the color. If the pH goes up too high, it starts to mute. It starts to just washes it out, and it becomes less vibrant of a color. So if you don't lose it altogether. So kind of important, something to put on your radar. It seems to happen every year about this time, right after a real heavy, some rain and a heat, kind of hot spot where we've been watering a little bit more than normal. We start to see this yellowing or chlorosis coming out. It's okay. Keep it going. So you can correct them pretty easily. Watering, I did write an article this week on watering. It's H2O Guide to Summer Water. And we started out, I don't know if you read this, it's in all the newspapers. It's picked up by 3 or 4 newspapers. It's our newsletter that we send out to our core kind of garden club members. There's 12,000 of you that have joined up. So thank you very much. But this is the article I write for them, and it's appropriate for this time of year. So it says, morning or evening watering, which one's better? Morning. Always morning. Here at this elevation, if plants are real wet going into the evening, they stay wet. And then you get all this leaf spot, leaf mildew, and just all kinds of problems. So the second one was wilting. Is it a cry for help or a coping mechanism? Plants this time of year, especially big plants like tomatoes, they're big crybabies. Now, they're just always whining. You get them off, they're too hot, they're too cold, they're all whiny. So they'll start whipping. At the very end of the day, if they're a little bit dry, they start to droop. The second that sun goes down, they go, oh, just I'm back. Here we go. If you can, wait until morning to water those things. They'll be happier because tomatoes, they want to die from leaf spot, vertinill and wilt, all kinds of diseases. If they're wet in the evening, you're going to have issues. Water in the morning, let them dry out towards the end of the day, they'll do better. Annuals versus perennials. Perennials are deeper rooted. They've got very large, like a pampas grass or a big mum. The mums came in this week. So big, huge, there must be 3-4 feet across. They're ginormous garden mums. They got real deep roots. Whereas an annual, they've got real shallow roots. So annuals take more frequent watering than perennials do. Trees take less watering than perennials do. So just kind of look at the size of the root mass, and that'll be difference. Containers, they're just thirsty. You can't overdo. I can't say that. It's difficult to overdo a container plant because it's got drainage. You get the perfect soil. It just the water flows right through, comes out the hole at the bottom, and it's hard to overdo it. So I've been watering hours every day, and I'm backing off. I'm trying to back off to every other day, but I'm just seeing they're still just a little hot yet. So another week or two, I'll throttle back the irrigation to every other day. Vegetable gardens the same way. Treat them just like a container. They're thirsty when they've got fruit. You want to keep that even moisture out there. And then trees and shrubs, they just need a deep soak once a week. That's probably enough. And that's how you water things. So get the article or get that. If you want, you can go to wattersgardencenter.com, and under the Learn button at the very top, there's a button that says Learn. And there's a garden class. If you want that article right from my desktop to yours, just put your name and email address down. There you go. You'll have a copy next week. So got more in store. We got Lisa Watters Lain coming in with your garden questions right after this. Hi, Kenneth Watters with our Monster Monsoon Sale, our only sale of the year.
Truckloads of fresh autumn maple, aspen, and spruce have just arrived, and we need room, so summer plants must go.
Perennials, trees, shrubs, even pottery must go, and it's worth your while with plant sales at 25, 45, even 65% off.
It's Watters' only sale of the year at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Where people who love great plants at sale prices, they love to shop. We are back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week with your garden question. Just what are your neighbors talking about? We can glean off some information from that. Welcome to the studio, Lisa.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You've been busy. You folks have been, your team has just been going crazy.
We have been busy. We've gotten a few trucks in, so everybody thinks, oh, it's the end of the season. Nothing's going on.
Californians.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of wonderful things that just came in, those late summer, early fall. Yeah, you got to check it out.
So the title of this show was "The Brightest Flowers of the Year Are Now."
Ooh.
And they truly are the brightest flowers of the year because they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the mums just came in, just everything is just, and they're not just big, they're like monsters. They're like Goliath. And when it comes to mums, they're just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So the second we get back from our vacation, we're taking one of those,
That's true.
snagging it, bringing it home. So what kind of questions we got this week?
Well, a few and varied questions.
Tis the season. Must be late summer.
It must be. All right. So Tom has a question. He thinks he burned out his lawn using a high nitrogen food in June.
Tom.
So he wants to know, is there any chance it'll come back?
Yeah.
Kind of rejuvenate itself?
Sure.
Or if he does have to reseed, when would be the next best time to reseed?
So Tom, you know, that's how you learn gardening. I'm going to forgive you. You're good. This is how you learn. Oops. We've all, if you've had a lawn, we've all spilled some and it burned a hole. That grass is not going to come back. It's dead. So you fried it, vaporized it. But the great thing is you can overseed right now. It's a great time. Now through October is kind of your sweet spot for overseeding, extending, because it's still humid. The ground is warm. Literally that grass seed will germinate within, literally days. We're talking a week. You're going, oh, I'm good. I'm such a gardener. Look, it's all growing. So you should be okay. I would flush that area out where it got burned because you don't want any leftover nitrogen left from that synthetic. You want to kind of flush that out, rake off that dead matted material. So we open up the ground underneath, put your seed on top of that. There's two types of seed we have here. It's a fescue and kind of the Prescott blend, that whole bluegrass blend. Just if you know what kind of grass you have, we'll just set you up with it. And when you put the seed down, make sure you get a bag of premium mulch to go over top of that seed, because the birds will think you're putting out seed just for them. And so that hides the seed, makes it germinate faster. Kind of just it ensures that things go fast. And then you're probably watering daily, if not a couple times a day, until the seedlings are up, till you get to your first mowing, and then you're kind of good to go. I would encourage you, Tom, the grass that's left, what you may want to do, here's an insider tip. Hi, my name's Ken. My wife, Lisa. We're just here we're talking over the back fence, the backyard. This is really going to help you. They make a product called Humic, Humic. Humic. It's humic acid. I would put that on the entire lawn before you even start. That'll help. If there is anything remaining, it will help it root. So what humic does, it tickles the roots of the plant so they start to root out. It'll help what's remaining, and then if there's anything that's possibly alive, it'll encourage it to grow, and it helps seedlings. So you kind of a win-win-win. A bag covers a couple thousand square feet. It's not a fertilizer. It's a food enhancer. It's a soil enhancer kind of thing. You not only burn the grass, you vaporize the worms and everything else. Nothing like synthetic foods. So from now on, here's what I'd recommend. Starting in March, fertilize with the all-purpose plant food. It's organic, 744, mild, just everything is enhanced with that. The next month, put humic. Just every month, switch it off once a month. Fertilize, put something on your lawn March through October, and you will have the most lush, gorgeous lawn you've ever seen. Weeds they would not dare try to invade because the grass is so tight and so full. That'll help you. So when you get ready, come talk to us. We'll walk you through the process.
And those products also help it root deeper. So a deeper rooted lawn takes less water.
Yeah, it does.
It's very beneficial to do that.
Chokes out weeds. It does a lot of good stuff. So humic helps attract worms and the beneficial stuff into your lawn, helps aerate. You'll probably never have to aerate. Humic is such a good, strong, it feeds the bacteria that takes out the matting, that dead mat stuff underneath. It's just a really good product.
It really is. And you can use it on more than just lawns. It's great for trees.
But Tom doesn't care. He only wants to fix his bird lawn.
For those people that are listening, that go, what else could I use it on? A lot of different things.
Humic acid is like magic. It's like it's a great magic product. Coffee grounds for the yard.
Better than coffee grounds. It actually works.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, I forgot to write down. Oh, Linda. So she moved into an existing home that had apple trees already on it.
Yeah.
Was concerned, just felt like the apples were small this year, plus very wormy.
Yeah.
Which I think it must have been a bad cutting moth year because people are complaining. But wants to know for next year, how can she really get a nice, good crop without the worms?
Sure. So if you have some fruit, the fruits seem to be a little delayed. So they might be small yet, but you've got plenty of runway yet. So you've got really October. It's when you're starting to harvest some of those things, especially if we're delayed a bit. And so if they're smaller, they will get bigger. Give it time, patience. Don't give up. Keep watering. You might even fertilize, get a bag of the fruit and vegetable food and sprinkle that out there. That'll encourage more growth. Now, her real question, I've got worms and I don't like fruit with worms in them. I don't blame you, Linda. What to do? So they make that's called codling moth. It's a little tiny, it's the cutest little moth. But she lays her eggs on the fruit and the worm, or the maggot stage, burrows into the fruit, eats out the inside, and then burrows its way out. And so that's where the worm, it's a cute little worm, actually, just not your fruit. Exactly. So it's okay. It's a worm. It's a worm. So what to do? So codling moth are very easy to kill, but you just have to know when to spray. Anything will kill a codling moth. You just have to know it's all about timing. So we make a product. It's a codling moth trap. Linda, you might even come in now to get one, put it up in your tree, hang it there, and it's got a pheromone in there that attracts this little tiny moth and goes, oh, the party's in that little cardboard box. Let's all go in there. And so you'll be sitting there going, nothing's going on, nothing's happening. You've checked it for 2 weeks straight, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden this thing fills up with codling moths, little tiny moths. Then you know, oh, they're laying eggs, spray right. Then it's a monitoring system for when to spray. And you spray it with just about anything will kill off codling moth. We've got several here that are organic that'll take them right out. So apples and pears, that's what codling moth likes to eat. They don't get on peaches or nectarines or apricots or plums. They like apples and pears. So we can help you with that. So, or you can do it like your grandparents did. They marked on a calendar, and every 2 weeks they sprayed the tree.
We can be smarter.
We can be better. Yeah. We can definitely be better.
Okay. Next question is from Hannah. She wants to know, when is the best time to start putting in her fall veggies? Oh, yeah,
that's a great question, actually. I haven't checked if they started. It should be starting to come in.
They're starting to arrive. The kales, the lettuces, all that kind of stuff.
So Hannah, now put them in as soon as you can. As soon as something fades or doesn't even looks remotely, when that zucchini stops, you starts wilting, getting all fungally and just covered in white powdery mildew.
I think you
Rip
just described
that
ours again.
thing out and put in your summer veggies. I'd say the same thing with winter flowers, pansies, violas. They're available now. As soon as anything even remotely stops, or you just it looks great, you just want winter color, rip them out, put them in, so they've got time to fill in and bump up. So the ground is so warm, they will grow. I mean, really fast. I mean, your broccoli, you're going to have cauliflower for Christmas dinner. You're going to have broccoli and lettuce and spinach, all those fall and winter crops right away. So now, Hannah, now
Now's the time.
They're available at Watters Garden Center.
Yes.
There we go. So Ken and Lisa Lain will be right back right after this.
Watters Garden companion plants for September are pampas grass, honeysuckle, raywood ash, and lacy blue Russian sage.
Lacy blue Russian sage is a Watters preferred perennial for its compact form that doesn't flop over in the landscape like others.
The spiky blue flowers bloom summer through fall with aromatic foliage detestable to all animals.
Simply stunning at the edge of dry stream beds mixed with wildflowers.
Shop in-store or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
So we've had this transition going on here at Watters Garden Center. We call it our Monster Monsoon Sale. We're clearing out the spring and summer things, and new arrivals of the fall and winter things are showing up. And some of the brightest perennials of the entire year arrive now. And so we just cleared out all that summer stuff is out of here, and we refilled the entire greenhouse with fall mums, fall crococnia, fall autumn joy sedums. I mean, just the name, autumn joy sedum. I mean, come on, that's just a great name. It's one of the biggest of the sedum families or succulents. And so it's kind of like a cactus, only without the thorns. So kind of soft, grows about knee high. Then it's covered right now with these pink flowers. Well, this time of year, we've had that variety that your grandparents grew for decades. It's an old-fashioned plant, but there's new varieties coming out. And so we've gotten a new variety with purple foliage and a red flower. We've got purple foliage with a pink flower. It's just all kinds of variety. They're all autumn joy sedums, but there's a whole collection because this is when they look their best. This is when you want to plant them. And so you've got some great runway here for some of the showiest flowers of the entire season are now through October. Some of the best flowers. In fact, I'm pruning back, deadheading my roses because I know that last flush is the brightest. It's the showiest. I'm cutting back the old flowers, fertilizing, and it'll be in color through October and actually into November frequently. My roses are just beautiful. They're just stunning. So you get plenty of time to plant. And some of your best, brightest flowers are now. This is when they show up. I mentioned crococnia. This is a bulb, gets about, not hip high, maybe above knee high, so call it 3 feet. Bright yellows, bright orange, intense, fiery reds. You only find this plant now. This is when it goes into bloom. So it needs the heat, takes off with growth, and it is covered with flowers right now. And so we just had maybe 100 of them show up at the garden center. They are striking. When you see in a container, they're beautiful. In the yard, in a raised bed, wherever you want them, they're just a perennial that comes back year after year. You can count on them this time of year through really the end of autumn. They're going to have this intense color. And then, of course, the number one most sought after or planted or recognized, drum roll please, is mums, garden mums. Now, chrysanthemums or mums, there are different varieties of them. And so you really do want to, if you're a gardener, stay away from those house kind of greenhouse grown mums that you'll find at the florist or grocery store. They are not going to transfer out into the yard and grow for you for years to come. They're made for indoors. You can have your cake and eat it too in the mountains of Arizona. You can have a garden mum that virtually looks the same as a greenhouse grown mum, but they're grown outdoors. So they're used to the water and the sun and the wind, and they're used to growing out there. That's the mums you want. You can bring it indoors and enjoy it for a while and plant it outdoors, or I've got some by the front door, the back decks, just accessorize with them. And then when you're done, you can go put them in the yard, out in the gardens, or just plant them right in the gardens. Garden mums are different varieties. We have this huge basket. It's like a 14, 16-inch basket. They're the biggest mums we've ever grown. And we had some fun with it. We've got straight yellow, straight orange, rust colors, reds, but we also created some multicolored big baskets. And so part of it's yellow, part of it's red, part of it's white, part of it's got 3 to 4 different colors. They're just striking, and they're perfectly, they're just the way you want to take them home. We call that bud and bloom. Bud and bloom, mainly buds. So you can see the flowers. They haven't quite opened, or they're just starting to open. So when you take that thing home, it's going to open while in your garden. So you get maximum flush. You get the most enjoyment out of that mum that you could possibly have. So this is time. So buy them like as soon as you can. Get them so you get the most enjoyment out of them. Why have those flowers at the garden center? You can buy one now, take it home, and just watch it grow in your own gardens or your own patios or entrance. Just fall is for decorating. It's the plants are so bright, so colorful. You almost don't have to plant them. They're like living bouquets. You just take them and put them by that front patio table or by this outdoor sofa, just kind of as an accessory. They're just striking, and all the fall colors here. We had some new varieties of echinaceas. Now, echinaceas they're a wildflower, but the wild one's purple. Okay, that's pretty, that's fine, but why not have red and yellow and white? I mean, solar yellow. We're talking it glows in the dark virtually. So the brightest flowers show up now through autumn, and this is when you really do want to put them in the ground. And so we've got a lot more in store for you. We got Lisa Watters Lain coming in with her segment right after this. Let's see what we can learn, but we're going to take a break to pay for the show. Be right back.
Watters Garden companion plants for September are raywood ash, Russian sage, honeysuckle, and ivory feathers pampas grass.
Ivory feathers is a dwarf pampas grass that blends perfectly into desert landscapes.
The ivory plumes reach over head height for architectural style around patios and ponds.
Well suited as a visual barrier or hedge in the far reaches of the yard.
You will find only the brightest grasses here at Watters Garden Center.
Shop in-store or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
And we are back with Lisa Watters Lain in the studio. She comes each week. This is just all about her segment, what she sees, what tickles her heart in the garden. So, and you like a lot of tickling.
No.
In the garden with your plants.
I don't even.
So anyway.
I'm not even going to touch that one.
The studio is filled with flowers, perennials. Yeah. I said you had a huge flower truck. I don't know how many thousands of plants showed up.
I'm tired.
And all of them are spectacular.
They are. So the perennial house just looks amazing right now. So many cool things that are in, and the colors are fabulous, and the plants are good. So, and it is still a really good time to plant.
It's the best time.
So many people are like, it's in the end of season. Is it okay? Yes.
Phoenix folks, they're heading down to, they're starting to pack up, heading back to, it's still, we were down there on a flight last week. It was still 105 out. So it's still summer.
But it's under 120. You know, get that jacket out. But yeah, it's a great time to plant, and good time to take a look at your yard and go, this plant just has not performed, or it's just not happy. Time to get it out of there. Put something fresh in there. It's time to take a good look at your yards and see if you need some new stuff.
I was writing a garden column for next week or week after or something like that. And I was going to go deep into, if it's ugly, we live in America. Why are you satisfied with that? Rip that thing out of it. Then I ran out of words. And I had to erase it. So
not you.
They only let me have like 800 words. So I kind of go, okay, I can't get too wordy. But if it's ugly, get it out of there. If it's mangy, if it's, you deserve beautiful. You have $1 million house. Why are you settling for ugly in your yard? Make it bloom.
Even if you don't, why settle for something ugly?
There we go.
Sometimes landscapes just get old and you got to refurbish them.
True. So, and if you're in an apartment, you're so confined, or you're renting a house, you're doing containers, that kind of stuff. It should be glorious because it's just a little space. It should be over the top. Should make up for lack of the yard. Just make it glorious. Have the hummingbird just kind of magnetized into your yard. I could go on and on.
I tell you, there's this one little hummingbird that is in the lower house. He hangs up in the upper house too sometimes. Little guy. He must be young. That boy is girl, boy.
It's a boy.
Boy
Got right through
is
it.
so busy. Oh my goodness, every day out there. And he's so kind of domesticated right now. And you just we walk right next to him. He's like, yeah, they're fine. They're not going to bother me. But he's a happy camper out there right now, especially with all this new stuff we got in. So one of the first things I want to show you is a bleeding heart. It's a new type of bleeding heart. Normally, most people think of bleeding hearts. They have that pink or dark red flower to it.
Like
This
a red,
one,
blood red.
This one is a white
It's
bleeding
very
heart.
unusual.
And I took off my glasses, so I'm going to hit a titanium. Okay.
I call it titanium.
So really cool. I love that white flower on there. And then the foliage is just very delicate.
Looks
very
like a
ferny.
fern or something.
Yeah. Very, very pretty. And
here we go.
when I was
Reaching
out
for
in the
more.
yard, I saw this heuchera, which is a real dark color,
my
kind of
gosh,
a
that's
dark
beautiful.
burgundy. I thought how pretty they would be together because they really offset each other. So the heuchera has this real burgundy, dark foliage
Almost
to
black
it.
with a burgundy highlight or something. It's
Especially
gorgeous.
underneath, it's like it's green on top and burgundy underneath, but absolutely gorgeous. But contrast it with the white bleeding heart, and it is beautiful. It'd be wonderful in a pot or container, or in the ground in a nice shady part of your yard, or if you have a shady perennial bed. Those two would be fabulous together, don't you think?
Heuchera loves the shade or the sun because it's so flexible.
Pretty
It'll go anywhere.
adaptable, yeah.
So and then bleeding heart likes the
shade.
shade, so it'll take morning sun and stuff, but it likes the shade. They're
Mhm.
both perennials. They'll come back for
Year after
years and years. I mean decades.
Mhm.
They'll be coming back, and I know that the red bleeding heart animals don't eat. I
Right.
assume the white ones or the titanium one
think
is the
so,
same
too.
way. It should be fine.
And the thing I like about white, especially in shady areas, is it really shows
Yeah,
up.
that's true.
You don't think about plants not. The white just really pops in a shade garden. It really does.
Same reason I like variegated, like
Mm.
gold and white foliage in a
Mhm.
shady area,
Right.
because you even if it's not in bloom, you see that bright color.
Right.
The foliage just brighter, just shines,
Mhm.
catches the moonlight, just makes everything look really good.
It does. So definitely check those out, especially if you got a nice shady area. So for the sunny area, of course, right now, all the echinaceas are just
They're amazing.
they're screaming, it's our time. This one I thought was really pretty. This is a real bright orange, almost like neon orange.
Yeah, it really is. It's glowing on camera.
Absolutely gorgeous. One lady walked by and she goes, "Oh my goodness, that really shows up, doesn't it?" So, and this is in a greenhouse full of thousands of plants, and she saw that one. So it really is very, very striking. Great for those, because the sunny places, sometimes plants get washed out in those real sunny spots, and this just really like screams at you.
You just gotta show them the tag.
There
This
you
is Sombrero Flamenca Orange. It's covered with dozens of flowers, staining about, I don't know, just below knee high or so.
So
That's just what
we
echinacea
have
does.
echinaceas in yellows, this real pretty red. We've got pinks, we've got whites, we've got, I think, 3 different shades of yellow out there.
Yeah.
So something for everybody in the echinacea family, and just a tough plant for here. Comes back every year, just as beautiful as ever. Great for bird. If you really want to encourage wild birds into your yard, at the end of the season, if you just let these little flowers go to seed, the birds will sit there and eat off of those through the fall and winter.
And animals like javelina deer, they seem to leave this one alone. It's a great wildflower, and it will reseed. It'll come up in other parts of the yard. I don't know if it'll be true to this color.
Right.
You might get the genetics coming through, but you get these stand up, straight, full sun. They're real sturdy stems, good for cut flowers. Echinacea, or what's the other name for that?
Coneflower.
Coneflower, yes.
So one of the other ones that we got in, and I forgot to, I wasn't going to bring the whole plant in because it's so huge. I meant to bring a sprig in, is the I never say it right.
Crocnomia? I don't know.
Crocsomias.
Yeah, I get a bulb. I did a video on that.
Oh, did you?
We're letting it go through our social media site. Yeah.
So check that out if you want to see that. But it is beautiful. So one of them is probably, I got to say, 3 to 4 feet tall.
Yeah, it's
it
crazy.
puts on a flower, almost like a small gladiola type flower with a real long stem. They're in bright orange. They call it orange pico something. And the other one's kind of a really golden butterscotchy kind of flower on it. It's really cool plants. They are a bulb, but they're winter hardy for here.
Very
So
much.
yes, they're going to go dormant, pretty much back to the ground. Zippo, nothing there. But they'll come back next season. The foliage will grow up first, and then you get those blooms late summer, early fall. And it gives you that really striking. I mean, you got to come in and see it because I wish I'd brought a piece.
If your gardens are full or you haven't gardened in years, it's fun just to come see the botanical interest in it. It's so bright. You see it from across. This time of year, the flowers get bigger, brighter, and they start to glow in the dark. And just they're literally like a light switch is on, and they're so bright. It's amazing. You don't see the crocronia in the spring. It's going to be only in the summer.
Right.
And so this is the time that you see them and plant them.
Definitely. Now is also the time. So a lot of your heat loving. So like the agastache. Agastache just loves it when it's really hot.
I thought it was a sage.
Nope, this
interesting.
Is blue boa.
That's amazing.
So this is blue boa agastache. I love this agastache. And this one gets tall. It gets up of almost 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
And with these little clusters of these purple flowers, which they're again great for pollinating.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as hummingbird mint. So yes. So that's what makes it very animal resistant. The deer, the javelina, and the bunnies, they leave it alone. I love this one because it does get tall. Great for pots or in the back part of your perennial beds. Something that just stands up and screams, "Hello, I'm here. I'm very, very pretty." Our little hummingbird has loved it, so he approves of it.
Plant, of course.
We do have other agastaches in. I just love the color on this one, but we also have some orangey and red ones in as well.
For some folks, if you want, I did another video of this at the test farms. We test a whole bunch of agastache, all the colors side by side. We see how they're doing in full sun, how much wind, do the colors fade, and we decide from there which ones to grow for next year. So it's at the farm. If that's of interest, you want to see what our test gardens look like, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Sometimes it goes over to TikTok, but you can take a look at those. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are out of time. Lisa, Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Sorry, you'll just have to come in and see them all. Be right back after this.
Watters Garden companion plants for September are Russian sage, pampas grass, honeysuckle, and raywood ash.
Raywoods are superior shade trees for wind and drought locations.
Plant as a single specimen or in a grove for more widespread shade on hot south and western exposures.
Dark green foliage forms the perfect round head with leaves that turn a magical wine red through autumn.
We sell only the prettiest shade trees at Watters Garden Center. Shop in-store or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
We have had an invasion of javelina show up at the Lain Casa. So they come in, they rummage through. It seems like they're on a circuit. They just kind of roam around the neighborhood. There's a herd of, I don't know how big. I stumble across them at night. Kind of going, oh my gosh, give them space. I've had them chase me before. We spooked each other, big boar. And he kind of charged. I don't think he could see me. He could smell me. Maybe he kind of rustled up and charged at me. And I kind of ran like a little girl. Gave him respect. Go for it. But they're in eating fruits, bird seed. You know, they're looking for easy sources. They're omnivores. They just kind of, they go after whatever's easiest. And if something runs out, they go, well, let's switch gears. We'll go over here. The problem is they're a pickery. So they've got like a snout, like a pig. So they root up the soil like a rototiller. They kind of root things up. They're looking for bulbs. I love tulips. If you're planting tulips this fall, don't put them where the pigs can get them. They'll eat every single one. They're like candy to them, like a huge Snickers bar. They'll just dig up the entire garden until they get every single one of them. And so you want to plant those back where it's fenced in. They don't like daffodils. You can plant those, or narcissus. They're okay. They're poisonous, so they're not going to eat those. But most bulbs, they're going to go after. All of your vegetable gardens are going to go after. And so there's certain plants. So in my front yard, I plant things that are kind of javelina proof. The backyard, I've got fenced. And so there, I can plant whatever I want. It's like a free-for-all. And we've got this, the fence is there not to keep the javelina out, but to keep the dogs in. And so they but they'll test, they'll push gates to see if it'll open. They're pretty smart. And so we see them get in the garden center every once in a while. So push the gates and they just kind of go, I can squeeze in here. And then it's like a free for all at the garden center. So you want to the only way to truly deal with javelina is to fence them. Sometimes even if they don't like it, they'll dig it up just to see what's underneath the roots. Going, oh, look, they loosened up the soil for me. I wonder if there's grubs or worms down here. And they'll toss your plant aside. But generally speaking, there are some plants they just don't like. They don't like herbs, anything herbally scent. So they don't like thyme, rosemary, lavender, oregano. They just don't like anything herbal. And so it's just that oils or something about it they just don't like. And so they'll leave them alone. They don't like generally grasses. So they don't like pampas grass or miscanthus or deer grass, all the native ones, bear grass. They generally leave grass alone. Now, if you put it in the ground, they might be interested because they're going to notice this is their home. It's like putting a pampas grass in the middle of your living room. Are you going to notice that? Sure you are. You're going to go, hey, what's up? What's going on? Hey, Fred, get over here. There's this new thing over here. Let's figure this thing out. And they might dig it up and throw it off to the side. You put it back in the ground. But generally, they leave them alone. They don't like fescue, blue fescues and things. So phlox, they don't care for that. Hollies, hibiscus, they don't care for those. We have this new Machutos hibiscus. It is stunning. The flowers are bigger than your hand. They're almost as big as a child's head. They're huge hibiscus type flowers. This is what you want for if you want a Hawaiian type of hibiscus. It's a perennial here, so it does hibernate underground in the winter. Then it comes back fresh, about 3 feet high, about hip high. And then it just has these flowers now through the end of the year. It's called Machutos hibiscus. They come in several colors, but javelina don't bother those. So you want to plant those out where they're kind of roaming around. Manzanita, I just know they're not going to eat that. Lilacs, they're not going to eat that. One that I really like, that's really super, quite bright, it's called Red Hot Poker. It's a perennial, gets up about knee high or so. There's a couple different models, a couple different colors, but basically the flower looks like a red hot poker, like you've had a poker in a fire for a while, and it comes out, it's super bright. It's got this transition of red and yellow and whites. It's really, really pretty. They don't bother that particular perennial. So you put that out there. Russian sage is probably the number one sold perennial. They're not going to eat those either because it's got that sagey kind of herbal scent to it. So you want to be real strategic. If you've got heavy pressure of javelina or rabbits or whatever in your yard, you want to figure out what those plants they won't bother, and then you got to commit more to those. You can't have a cottage garden of a lot of everything. You got to have a few things. So there's 20 things you can plant, and here they are. You got to commit more, so bigger blocks of those down the driveway, so they aren't going to bother those. Vinca or periwinkle is another kind of it's an evergreen ground cover kind of plant. Does really well. It has a blue flower to it with 5 petals. It's quite striking. Javelina, we've just proved it out. They are not going to bother those in your garden. So commit more to those. So that's a great ground cover, or keeping a hillside intact. I don't know how to help you. I've got a list here at the garden center, or if you go to our website, wattersgardencenter.com, just type in javelina at the top, the list, the information will come. But if you really want to find a good list, go to wattersgardencenter.com. And at the top, we've got a learn button, Learn, like learning. All the garden class handouts we put under that tab. And so it's an easy resource. And we do teach javelina classes, how to keep the javelina out often. And so that handout that we use for that class is right there. Just look at javelina resistant plant list. Generally speaking, most of the herds do read the list. Some don't, or some they'll just kind of try it, but then they'll leave it alone. But, daylilies, they don't bother. Wisteria, zinnias, pyracantha, silk tassel trees, silver lace vines, and snapdragons. We're coming into snapdragon season. They don't bother those. Like, they got a taste they cannot tolerate. Mexican primrose, real pretty ground cover with pink flowers. It's just spreads. You've got some choices, but you'll have to learn a little bit to try it. And if you're just not sure, I encourage clients that I help here at the Garden Center, go, listen, why don't you take one home and use it as a test victim? Just put it out there, see if they eat it, see if they take care of it, see if they're leave it alone. And so if they leave it alone, hey, I got a good one. I'll take 5 of those. You kind of top it off that way. So test it before you really commit is probably the best way to do that. You can plant now. A lot of my Phoenix, Palm Springs, Southern California folks are, no, I can see they're predicting December will be here. I can't plant anymore. No, this is like the best planting season. What are you talking about? This is ideal. Finally, it's cool. You're not going to have to deal with all the heat of summer. This is your time. And so especially for those fall type of perennials, it's a really good time. The mums are here. Echinaceas are here. We got this phlox. Phlox is here. What was that called? So I've got a couple different lilies came in that are really quite striking for the shade gardens. And so, yes, they will hibernate underground, but they're going to come back next spring and do it all over again for you. And then we have got some super cool evergreens coming. They're at the farm yet. We're loading up that truck now. And so we've got 3 or 4 farms. We were just up there touring, hand picking these different trees and shrubs. And so they'll be down here probably in a couple weeks. So it takes a bit of time. Plants are logistical. Like it's not just easy to go pick them up and bring them down. You got to have cooled trailers. It's just logistics. You got to think the route to make the distance worthwhile. But I know who grows the best evergreens. I know who grows the best shrubs, the best mums, the best. And we're pulling for those farms. And so it's okay to plant now. You'll need to water. You'll need to treat it like it was still summer, but you're not doing that very often. A couple times a week for a new tree, that's more than enough. Flowers, maybe it's every other week, every other day, not week. Flowers need more water. Every other day or so is probably about right. And so you got plenty of things going on. The garden center's like glowing. The flowers are so pretty right now. All right, we got more in store for you. Got to take a quick break. Be right back with this after this.
Hi, Ken at Watters with our Monster Monsoon Sale, our only sale of the year.
Truckloads of fresh autumn maple, aspen, and spruce have just arrived, and we need room, so summer plants must go.
Perennials, trees, shrubs, even pottery must go, and it's worth your while with plant sales at 25%, 45%, even 65% off.
It's Watters' only sale of the year at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Where people who love great plants at sale prices, they love to shop.
Now, with all the rain that's happened, we get a lot of leaf spot, things happening to trees that I tell you just what to look for on your foliage. So foliage should be blemish free, just perfect. And if there's any kind of spotting, holes missing, tearing, those are all indications of stress on the plant. It can be dangerous. Generally, leaf spot and leaf molds, that kind of stuff, don't kill plants, especially big plants. They can smaller ones, but big ones, not so much. I'm seeing quite a bit of what's called shot hole. It's like you stand back from the canopy of a tree, you take a shotgun and you shoot through the foliage, and the leaves will have little tiny holes about the size of shotgun shot going through it. So it's what that is a bacteria has lighted on the foliage. Birds and bugs are spreading this stuff. So it gets in one in the neighborhood, they're on that tree, then they fly around the neighborhood and it just spreads very easily, especially when it's more humid, a little warmer, and just like afternoon rains. This is like the perfect environment for bacterial growth. And so it's a bacteria will light on that leaf. It eats the sugar in that part of the leaf, and then it just dries up and falls out. So it leaves a perfect hole. And so that's not to be concerned if you see a little bit of it. As trees get more mature, you see less of it. It's still there, but you just don't see it because the tree is so big. Now, younger trees, you tend to really notice it going, oh my gosh, of course, you're caring for those trees a little more because they're just youngsters. You're trying to nurse them along and get them to grow and be happy. As they become larger, you almost forget about them. I'm hoping that the drip system works. I'll fertilize you in the fall. So kind of watch that. Is there a solution? Yeah, you could actually put some sprays on there that will affect it. We've got several that are highly effective, but I don't know that you need it. What's more concerning is when you start to see blackened leaves, not just a hole, but the tips aren't just brown, they're black. This is a leaf. It's a bacterial thing. They're getting on the tips of the leaves and they're just eating the sugars. They're just rolling back through that foliage. Aspens are common for this. Plums, apples can see this. Several types of plants can see this. Generally, again, doesn't kill the tree. It can actually work its way back through the foliage and then down into the stems, and then it works its way down through the trunk. Aspens can have this happen. So be careful of that one. Generally not a concern, but if it gets too bad, come see us. We've got a spray that can help you really get this under control. It happens about a month after the monsoon rains start. Then it just gets worse. Now, the way it gets stopped is, well, trees, they just know, drop by leaves. I'll just stop. When autumn comes, we'll just drop our leaves. Done. We'll start over again next spring. So you'll see that happening. If trees are turning color too early, or you're seeing damage, too much damage, we probably do want to get on that before it gets worse. So take a picture, bring a sample in. We'll let you know how bad it is if it's in doubt. If it's something highly valuable, a very valuable tree, you definitely want to see us. That's what we're here. We're kind of plant doctors. We're helping you figure out, is it serious or not serious? You don't want to lose a 10-year-old tree just because we let things go too long and it spreads. But all the other trees in my yard are fine. Oh, yeah. And it can spread to those trees too. So we want to kind of control this thing as it's going on. So lots of things happening because of the moisture, and we're acting more like it's a southern garden, or we're up in the Northwest with lots of rain. But it's going to dry out here pretty quick. Things are going to go into fall. You get the fall color. It just kind of keeps things going. So leaf spot on plums and other trees, kind of what to look for. Throughout the week, Lisa and I camp out here at Watters Garden Center. I got to tell you, we delight in just talking about plants to other gardeners and fans of the show.
Hi, Ken at Watters with our Monster Monsoon Sale, our only sale of the year.
Truckloads of fresh autumn maple, aspen, and spruce have just arrived, and we need room, so summer plants must go.
Perennials, trees, shrubs, even pottery must go, and it's worth your while with plant sales at 25, 45, even 65% off.
It's Watters' only sale of the year at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Where people who love great plants at sale prices, they love to shop.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit wattersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Watters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.